afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Not normally come on live on a Friday, but something came up yesterday, so I had to make the live Friday. So welcome to Conversation to Sales. And so today we're going to be talking all conversations. So as you are jumping on, drop me an hashtag live in the comments, and if you watch it later on, drop a hashtag replay. And if you watch it on replay, you can definitely ask some questions and I'll answer them. Just a second. Yeah, comments, that's it. So I can see some people jumping on, so let me know who it is in the comments. Who's with me today? Hope you're having a gorgeous day. So today we're going to be talking all conversations to sales. So this is all based on, if you already being connected to your target audience, and number two, you should already be creating targeted content. So if you need help with any of the above, so if you need help with tapping into your targeted audience or creating targeted content, then drop a hashtag targeted, and I'll hook you up with some help on that. So I think a lot of people have limiting beliefs around Messenger, and as a result, they do anything that they can to avoid it. And they avoid it like the plague. So I can see some people dropping on. Let me know who's dropping on, and drop a hashtag live, and let me know who you are. So I was just saying there before you jumped on, it's based on Conversations to Sales. This is based on already being connected with your targeted audience. It's also based on if you're creating targeted content. So if you need help tapping into your targeted audience or creating targeted content, then drop a hashtag targeted, Dutch, and I'll hook you up with some training on that. So hashtag targeted if you need some help with tapping into your I hope the sound's not off. No, my sound's on. Can you hear me, Dutch? Can you hear me? Should be able to hear me. Miley, give up. Hashtag live. So I'm assuming that you can hear me. So I will start again. So this Conversation to Sales is based on already having a targeted audience, already knowing who your targeted audience is, and creating targeted content. If you need more clarity in any of those, targeted audience and targeted content, drop a hashtag targeted, and I will tune you into some help with that and give you a bit more clarity. Okay, so I think a lot of people have limiting beliefs around their messenger, whether that's on Facebook or a different platform. And as a result, I can't hear you. I can read the captions. Who is that? Because it's coming up Facebook user. So it must be on your side because everyone can hear me. If you can't hear me, if you tap the top, there's a little link. If you click that, and then you'll come back on as and it'll say your name. Excuse me. And I don't know, it might change the volume, it might change the sound for you. I hope. But it's definitely something on your side, Mr. or Mrs. Facebook user. So yeah, as I was saying, a lot of people have limiting beliefs around Messenger, and as a result, they avoid it, and they avoid it like the plague. And to be perfectly honest, I'm seeing even more now because social media are really pushing short form videos. So they're pushing reels and stories. So they're pushing video content. And don't get me wrong, video content is powerful. I'm a big advocate for video content. I love it myself. And I also created Camera Action Bank workshop, which is Marley, which is dedicated to short form video itself. So yeah, used correctly, it can fast track that know, like, and trust, that rapport, and ultimately it can create more sales. Short form video is amazing. But can you hear my dog growling? What are you growling at? Oh, neighbours out. Mally, I've said no. I've said no. Ah, no. Let me know if she's too annoying, because she is going. So used correctly, it can really fast track your know, like, and trust, your rapport, and ultimately, those sales. It is amazing. But because there's a mindset around doing a lot of video content, which of course is important, but what tends to happen is people forget the importance of getting into Messenger, having those conversations, connecting with people on a one-on-one basis. So remember, your content is not a one-on-one basis. There's lots of people that's tuning in to your content, whether that's through video or whether that is through written. But ultimately, your connections are really happen in your DMs, in your Messenger. But reels and videos, they're all part of that marketing element, along with your written content, along with your Messenger, along with your conversations. They all work as a whole. And I think what happens is people think that, I can just bang out video content, and then they sit and wait for those people to come flooding through the gates, and it just doesn't happen like that. So Messenger conversations is not to be ignored. Along with good content, your Messenger conversations they're going to be 100% easier than without content, because without content it comes more under direct sales, which for me personally, direct sales, it's not my jam. I am the kind of person, I like to build relationships, I like that connection, and I think as humans, we all want to have that human connection. We want to be understood. Are we to wait for them to come to us by some of your content, or do we approach and present to them? No, so I would never message somebody and approach them about my offer, because there's a saying called people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold to. So personally, for me, I know that if someone's jumped into my Messenger and asked things like, how's business, what you're struggling with, and those questions where it's leading to a pitch, I know I've never bought from anybody that's done that, and I'm pretty sure you guys haven't. If you look at, right, when I invested into such and such, what was it that attracted me? How was I sold on that? Because I think pretty much it will have stemmed from content. It will have stemmed from content. So for me, I invest heavily into my content. I batch create my content. I know who I'm speaking to. I know how I can help them. I know who I can help. I know what result I'm going to get them. I know what result they want. I know it, and I can put that into my content because I know my offer inside out. And that's one of the magic key points, knowing your offer inside out. So, like I was saying, hope that answered your question, Dutch. So like I was saying, you know, if you are leading with your content, then your conversations in Messenger are going to be a lot more easier, and you're going to feel a lot more confident as well. But that also comes along with knowing your offer inside out. If you know your offer inside out, and you know, there's a massive fly keeps trying to attack my head. What the hell? Attacked by a massive buzzy fly. Yes, if you know your offer inside out, you're going to feel a lot more confident in your conversations talking to them people. Yeah, Dutch. Know your offer inside out. So so people don't like hard sell. And I think like I was saying then, like, I think if you look at like how you invested into something, it probably wasn't a hard sell. It was probably more that it resonated with you. There was something that resonated with you. So, but yeah, when it comes to content, you want to be able to put in your content everything that you can help someone do, but not in, I don't mean in a spammy salesy way, so not like 10k in 90 days, that kind of thing, but demonstrating you know how you can help someone. But let's just say that without Messenger, you're never really going to close those sales, as you're not going to be able to guide people over the fence. And without knowing the right questions, and knowing why you're asking those questions. So not just about asking the right questions, but actually knowing why you are asking that person that question. Without knowing those two key things, it's really, really challenging to get into Messenger and feel confident, because even confidence plays a big part in your Messenger. If you get into Messenger and you really don't know what you should be asking, why you should be asking that question, you don't know your offer inside out, then naturally it's going to affect your confidence. So confidence plays a big part. And that's why I think so many people, they don't use Messenger properly, and the confidence as a result dips really, really low. So they rather get into Messenger and they lack conversation skills, or they are quite direct in the questions that they ask, where it can feel a bit interrogating to the other person. So because they're not really sure what they're doing, they don't have that confidence. I like that. Awesome, Dutch. So you know your offer content will come. Yeah, so knowing your offer your content, it does come easier. It really does. Like, it's like today I'm talking about Messenger. And like I said at the beginning, knowing your targeted audience and, being able to put out targeted content is going to make your Messenger a lot easier. It really is. So if you know how to use the right questions in Messenger and knowing what questions need to be asked, and most importantly, what trigger words to avoid. Like, for example, asking somebody, how's business? That, I mean, it depends how long you've known each other. Like, there's certain people I'm connected with on Facebook. If they said to me, oh, business, like, yeah, in that way. But it tends to be like, how's business? I'm going to direct it to see what your struggles are and see if I can picture something. So that's a trigger point. Also, like, I'm trying to because I haven't used the trigger word in like, I don't know, well over 16 months. I can't remember all the trigger words, but you know what I mean, like, how's business, what you're struggling with, those kind of things. They're trigger questions, they're trigger words, and they're going to make people, they know, oh, this person's not talking to me because they want a connection, or to get to know me a bit more and what I'm up to. They're just trying to, direct me to a pitch, so they see me as a dollar sign. So you need to know what kind of information you're actually trying to get from a person that you're speaking with. And you can't really do that with cold messaging. It stems again from your content. Even if someone don't reach out and say, oh my God, your content spoke to me, and now I want to work with you. They might not directly say that, but there'll be conversations, quality conversations that come from your content that will make your Messenger a lot easier to navigate. And again, you'll feel a lot more confident. That makes sense. See, I'm just checking comments. So when you know all of that, then you also know how to position your offer to match the needs of the person that's looking for the solution to their problem. And that's major too, because you really need to work backwards. So like I just said previously, I won't say that again, but you need to know your offer. Like, your business flows by working backwards. Meaning, you have to understand exactly what you're selling. You need to know it inside out, and you need to know how it works for someone to get them a result. So usually when people go, I help people to make money online, or I help solo parents to earn money from home. That's what I used to say at first, when I didn't know my targeted audience was, I couldn't break my offer down. I just said I help solo parents to earn money from home, because I was a solo parent. So they were the people that I wanted to help. But who you help and how you help people all stems from your offer. Okay, just drop a hashtag makes sense if it makes sense. So they're not, helping someone to make money online, and helping solo parents to earn money from home. They're not actually, that's not who you help. That's not what your product can do for somebody. It's not how your product works. It goes deeper than that. Excuse me. Because knowing how to position your own offer confidently it's essentially going to enable you to ask the right questions in your conversations. And also, you're going to be able to create your very own questions on the fly during those conversations. So what that's going to do, this is going to make you feel, this is going to make those conversations a lot more smooth. They're going to transition between question, banter, relationship building. So you'll feel a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable. Couldn't get those two words out then. Confident and comfortable. And this ultimately, it's going to create that know, like, and trust, along with delivering how you can help that person. So it's that eventually it'll lead to will lead to a sale. Now, I'm not saying that that's, once you get talking to someone in Messenger, don't ultimately mean that that person is going to invest in you or want to work with you right now. I've had people in my audience that have been in my audience for a couple of days and message me and say, I want to work with you, basically. We've been friends a couple of days. Now, that doesn't happen often, and it's not, it's not realistic. So it's nice when it happens, but it's not realistic. But I've had people in my audience that have been in my audience for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a year before they've actually reached out and said, right, I want to work with you. So you've got to give people time. Not everyone's ready to make a commitment straight away. And you have to respect that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, because I know people always want, well, what can I ask? Can I have a script? And I'm not a script person. Like I don't believe in scripts and messenger frameworks. I believe in relationships and conversations. But I do find DM frameworks and scripts pointless, but I am going to give you a little bonus to help you out. But just drop a #1 if you agree that scripts that scripts work, and drop a #2 if you don't agree with scripts working. And everyone's entitled to opinions, so don't you worry. I won't be like, oh, you don't agree with me. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, so knowing your offer inside out, knowing how to demonstrate that in your content, knowing exactly who your ideal client is, you won't need a script or a framework. So, because if you feel confident in your whole messenger conversation, then it's going to flow naturally. So these are the things that you want to be asking. Okay, so I'm not saying these are a script. I'm just giving you like a little bonus here for you to think about. And remember, this that I'm gonna say, this is based on knowing your targeted audience and putting out targeted content. So just before I go on, I believe they are just tools and can use them on the fly as you need, but they are not written in stone. Yeah, conversations aren't linear. They can go all over the place. Marley, sit down and come here. They can go all over the place, and usually scripts, they are kind of like interrogating a little bit. I think it works as a guideline just to start, and then one needs to adapt for each person who you are speaking to. Yeah, and obviously, like we're saying, your offer, you need to adapt what you're asking around your offer and your targeted audience. And my dog's playing up because she's like, right, you've been on video too long, so I'm going to start playing up behind camera. if it don't work, it used to before, didn't work for me. The thing is with scripts as well, people know them, like I was saying about trigger words, like people recognize those trigger words and they're like, yeah, and they've shut off and gone. So, but each, like I say, each to their own. I have used scripts before when I got started, and even though they was really cheesy and uncomfortable, you know, I did close sales using scripts, but like I say, I burnt through a lot of people using scripts because I just didn't know any better. I didn't have these skills back then. So yeah, so you want to be finding out about their situation. Like, find out about them. What are they doing? Do you know, what do they want the business to look like? What do they want to eliminate from their business that they don't like doing? So, for example, I'll give you an example for me. I hated doing sales calls. I hated dogs are barking. I hated doing sales calls. Like, they'd last for over an hour. You know, you can't detach yourself from the sale if you're on a sales call. I don't care what anybody says, you cannot detach yourself from the sale if you're filling your Calendly up with sales calls, because if that sales call's an hour and you've got a few booked in, that's a lot of hours to be on sales calls. Oh, of course you want them to turn into sales. So it's really hard to detach, where when you're having a conversation in Messenger and you're coming from a place of service, and how can I help this person? Can I help this person? If you're talking to 5 different people at the same time, and having like a genuine, you know, conversation, finding out about their situation, finding out what they want the business to look like, finding out what they want to eliminate from the business, finding out what they hate doing, finding out what they love doing, finding out what they want to incorporate more into the business. And that's a good conversation, and they're enjoyable conversations. But if you're having like 5 of those at the same time, you're not attached to that sale. And I think that's an important position to be in, not being attached to a sale. I've given plenty of help, advice, and things in Messenger, and it comes from a genuine place. If that person comes back and, you know, they've liked what I've said, or they've been watching me a while, and we've built a relationship, whatever, and they want to come and work with me, that's brilliant, awesome. But I'm never attached to the sale. Where on sales calls, I was bloody attached to that sale. That was like an hour of my time with one person. So so find out what they don't like doing in the business, and find out what they like to do more, because it might be a case that, you know, what they want to do more in the business and what they don't like doing, you might not be able to help them. If someone likes to send out 25 friend requests a day and send out 30 cold messages a day, I can't help that person, because I don't run my business that way. So as well, it's coming from a genuine place. And then you can also, if you can't help someone, if you can say, I can't help with this, but such and such, and refer them to someone else. Someone did this for me the other day, contacted me about my camera action bank workshop, and, you know, she said, I can't help him, but I'm going to pass him over to you because I know you've got your camera workshop. You know, that's good business. That's good business. So always come from a place of there's a word I'm looking for, I can't remember, but yeah, you know, being attached to the sale, it's not good for your energy. Awesome. This is great stuff. You're rocking it. Thank you. I'm a bit put off because the dog, next door neighbour's dog's barking. The neighbour in the garden can hear me talking, and Marley keeps playing up. So like, I got off track then. I don't like neighbours to hear me talking because they ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. It's more that I'm not bothered them listening to me talking. It's more that I know they ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. So thanks, Dutch, much appreciated. So yeah, so you know, if you're, like I was saying, if your offer can truly help them and they're a good fit, then you know your conversations, they're gonna flow so easy and simple because you're gonna have that confidence. So like I was saying before as well, like messages, conversations, sorry, they're not linear. They're not all going to go in the same direction. So it's why you need to be feel confident and comfortable to direct that conversation to where it needs to go. And I don't mean direct it to pitching a sale, but you know, asking the right questions, taking it to the right place, instead of just going round and round in circles, and the conversation like fizzling out. Okay, so so yes, as I was saying earlier, like I see a lot of people concentrating on video content, and you know, it's like I was saying a couple of weeks ago, very clickbaity content, buy my stuff with actual no value to it, and they put a lot of that out, and they think that people are going to jump into the DMs and buy stuff. And I can really see that, like when people are adding people, or people have had me. So I've been doing some testing with people that just have like a Facebook full of short videos, and I've been doing some testing, like I've been adding them and seeing what the conversation is like, and they really don't want to have a conversation. They're just hoping that you're going to see their video, and you know, you're gonna be a client. They're not really looking at, well, you know, is this lady like ahead of me? Like, what does she do? Like, there's no making sure that I'm their ideal client. Does that make sense? So what it's doing is they're not able to have you know, they're not even able to have a genuine conversation because they're just heavily relying on their on the content. And you can't like you can rely on your content if it's good, if it's targeted, if it's speaking to the right people, if it's getting in front of the right people, then you can rely on your content. But you know, people want to buy from people that they've got some kind of relationship, some kind of, you know, they've had some conversation with. So yeah, you need that connection with people in your DMs. So I'm going to just break down. So I've just got something written down here. So I'm just going to, so let me just find where I wrote it. Just a minute. Right, so with my framework, my framework goes a bit like this. So it's content which also builds relationships, and it should be everything that you've built around your business and about you. It should be about yourself, your beliefs, your morals, your values, your loves, your dislikes, everything. Because without content, personally, I don't think you have a business. Content is your blood and your organs are your business. And then so tip: content should be generating conversations. And I see this a lot. People put content out, and someone will have gone to a real effort to leave a really good comment, and then they might just say, "Oh, thanks." There's no conversation. It's like, one, your content should be generating conversations, and not just saying, "Oh, thanks," and just happy that people have liked it or made a comment. Does that make sense? So when your content generates conversations, that can also turn into your market research as well. So conversations that are not just based on driving to a pitch or a sale, where the conversations, there's an instant connection, and you can feel like you're going to have some kind of relationship with this person. So that's what kind of feels you should be getting from your conversation. Your conversation should not just be about how fast can I get this to a pitch. That's right. I rarely put up content, so no wonder why. It's not saying who said that. It's just coming up Facebook user. But yeah, do you know what? When I have a look and I can see, when I come out of StreamYard and I can see who you are, I can direct you to some content training. But I think it's a case of when you don't put out much content, it's just, I think it all boils down to clarity on, right, why am I writing this content? Who am I writing this for? What is the purpose? What do I want to achieve with this content? So I just think it comes down to clarity when if you stop posting content or you don't post as much content, all comes down to clarity, really. In truth, this is why we base our whole sale as making friends and sales at the end. Yeah, so relationships before revenue, absolutely. Because not only that, it's not just about the sale, but you always want to like the people that you work with. Because if you just make a sale for the sake of making a sale, and that person's an headache, for example, that's going to burn you out. That say if that sale were $3,000, you might be like, oh yeah, I made $3,000. But if that person's an absolute headache to work with, no $3,000 is going to be worth that. So I'm very about not just protecting your time, but protecting your energy. Because if you want something for somebody else's business more than the sales, you can put a lot of energy into that person and that person's business. And if they're not putting the same energy in, it's you that's burnt out. So your energy is so important. It really is. And I keep doing as I'm talking, I keep pressing the button. See, I wrote this little bit down because I wanted to get it in order. As I'm talking, I'm just pressing my buttons. So yeah, so relationships. So no one is going to buy from people that they've built they've not built any kind of relationship with. Like I said, yes, it does happen. I've had it happen a handful of times, but it's not realistic. It's really not. I'd say I always say 14 months because I never count the months before the 14 months, because before that and all the sales that I made, they was doing very much spammy, numbers, hope and pray strategies. So I always say for the last 14 months instead of going back 2 years. But yeah, in the last 14 months, it's happened to me a handful of times where, someone's gone through my content, binged my content, and then jumped into my inbox. But realistically, people don't buy from people without a good conversation and some kind of relationship, and what's the other word? Relatability. So it means that, so then what I concentrate is community. So you've got your content, you've got your relationships, you've got your conversations, and then you've got your community. So bringing people together who share the same wants in life, and furthering those relationships with the people in your community. So what I mean by that is, for example, in here, this is a community. And a few weeks ago, might have been 6 weeks ago now, who knows, I ran a live challenge, and everyone partaked in going live for 10 days, and I gave topics to talk about, and everybody who went live, they really connected with each other, like, and they added each other as friends out of this community, out of the Anti-Hustle Hub, and you know, they've built genuine connections, they've built genuine relationships. They you know, they had the same wants, they had the same desires, they were relatable. They felt like, everyone who went live, I felt that they were my friends, because I learned so much about them, and that's community. So that's what I mean about creating a community where everyone in the community come together, and that's what I've created within the Hustle Hub. So so concentrate on community, and then next is offer creation. So without an offer, what would you sell? So you need to have some type of offer. Again, laying out the plan for the people and showing them what's possible. So what I mean by laying out the plan is what I do, like content creation, conversation, relationship building, all of that. I don't hide my marketing strategies. Do you know, when people work with me, they know that through my content, they know exactly what they're going to be learning and how their business is going to look. So laying out the plan to your audience. And then sales. So knowing how to close sales without being sleazy, salesy, and actually take care of your clients. Your clients to be, sorry, and not handle your clients, because you know, nobody wants to be handled in Messenger. And that's what I mean, like when you don't feel confident in your Messenger and you're not sure what you should be doing, you either avoid Messenger, or you go to the other extreme where you're handling people, and nobody likes to be handled. I missed that one, got lost in the track about the 10-day live challenge. So yeah, what I will do is I will run it again. So I did it about 6 weeks ago, and I will run it again, because I really enjoyed it. I just loved it, and everybody did. And it, not only that, it built everyone's confidence up for video. So there were so many people who wanted to start video content, and they wanted to show up as someone of value. They wanted to be able to deliver value and feel confident doing it. So it helped people to do that as well. So yeah, a really good challenge, and it's definitely something that I'll do again. So your offer should fuel your content. Your content should fuel your conversations. Those conversations, they should make your content even better. I call it market research. And then they lead to comfortable and easier sales. So it shortens your sales process, and it leads to comfortable and easier sales. So your offer, your content, your conversation, they all impact on your sales process. So drop me a hashtag makes sense if that makes sense. I'm just going to grab a drink. Excuse me. So, has anyone got any questions? Because I've got something really exciting to reveal to you guys. But I'd like to answer questions first. Now you're where I am. What do you mean, Dutch? So let me know if you've got any questions, or just drop a hashtag no if you haven't got any questions, and then I can move on. I'm really cold. Hands are freezing. In content building, what do you lead in with? Well, there's different. You should have a content matrix, so you have different types of content. So it depends what you want to achieve from that piece of content. So it's quite a broad question. So I'm gonna continue. If you've got any questions, just drop them. So I've got something really exciting to share with you. Who on here knows Flip Moss? Drop hashtag yes if you know Mr. Flip Moss. Biceps are sore. Did some biceps yesterday at gym. Can feel them pumping. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so when I did a poll the other week, say again, Flip Moss. So when I did a poll the other week, and I asked you guys what you'd like me to go live with, and it was conversations DM based around Moss sales and personal branding. So Flip Moss, I've got him on a live interview next week at the same time, but it's on a Wednesday. So next Wednesday at the same time this live was, which is 4 p.m. UK time for me, I've got Flip coming on, and I thought, who better? Because, you know, is the next best guy apart from myself. Is the next best guy. No, he's the best guy. Like, I come second. And he's created hundreds of personal brands. He's helped people to create their personal brands, and he's helped hundreds of people in and outside of high ticket affiliate marketing. So this is anyone with a product or a service, not necessarily in a high ticket affiliate marketing. He's created over 40 10k earners, and he's also created or helped create, however you want to say it, I'm not really sure how to say it myself, 7 100k earners. So he's going to be coming on to break down exactly how he's helped people to create a personal brand and has achieved all that. May I say, he's achieved all that in 16 months. 16 months. So he's been able to do all that, eliminating mass friend adding, lurking in groups to steal people without doing cold DMs, and just eliminating anything spammy, icky and sleazy. So smash that heart button if you're excited, because I'm excited. I thought personal branding, who better than Mr. Flip Moss? And yeah, guys, feel free. In fact, don't feel free. I want you guys to bring questions. I want you guys to write questions and bring them, because Flip Moss is just like me. it doesn't sugarcoat anything, is like an open book. You're going to get so much value. So if you're here wanting to build a personal brand and you want to grow a business long term and not just here for the quick money grabs and then burn out and go, if you're here to build a long-term sustainable business and build your very own personal brand, then guys, you want to be tuning in on Wednesday, 4 p.m. UK time. So 4 p.m. UK time is the exact same time that this live started today. So who's excited? I am. Great, guys, Flipmos. We realised actually we'd both had the same mentor. So for you guys who don't know, I came away from high ticket affiliate marketing for a few months, and I went I got a high ticket coach, but it wasn't based on affiliate because I was just sick of all the noise, all the bullshit, all the fakery, and I wanted a proper mentor. When I came back, I realized that me and Flip, we'd had the same mentor, and now everything that we do is so aligned. So I don't bring many people on. The only people that I really interview are my own clients so that they can tell their story, which I will be bringing on a client after Flip another day. That's already in the diary. But anyway, yeah, dead excited for you guys. So tune in, bring your questions. I'll be disappointed if you don't bring any questions, because like, people who ask the most questions are the people that go the furthest. Trust me, I ask lots of questions. I'm one of those students that I will ask because I need to know that I'm doing it right. I need to know that I'm understanding it right. So bring me questions. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's live. And yeah, like I was saying at the beginning, if you need any help and clarity on creating targeted content, or you need any help in finding who your targeted audiences, then drop a hashtag targeted, and I'll get back to you with that. So yeah, ciao for now. Thank you.